I'd like to welcome everyone here tonight. Can we stand for the pledge of allegiance?
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Dear gracious Heavenly Father, we just want to thank you for this beautiful day that you've given us and allow us to meet again. And we just ask that you be with us tonight, and we say this in your name, Lord. Amen.
Amen.
Councilman Willis? Here. Councilwoman McCann? Here. Councilwoman Patton?
Yes.
Councilwoman McClure?
Yes.
Councilwoman Cantu?
Here.
Councilwoman Pugh?
Here.
I need a motion to suspend the reading. Need a motion to suspend the reading and approve the minutes of May 6, 2024 regular meeting.
I'll second.
Councilman Willis?
Yes.
Councilwoman McCann?
Yes.
Councilwoman Patton?
Yes.
Councilwoman McClure?
Yes.
Councilwoman Cantu?
Yes.
Councilwoman Pugh?
Yes.
Do we have anything on electric on board?
No, we don't have any updates right now.
Okay. Thank you. Is there any old business? The new business, we got it's the first reading of ordinance number 200.00, 2024, the budget for the fiscal year 2024, 2025.
Would anyone like to have the first reading of the budget?
Please.
An ordinance adopting the city of Vanceburg, Kentucky annual budget for fiscal year July 1st, 2024 through June 30th, 2025 by estimating revenues and resources and appropriating funds for the operation of city government. That's your first reading. You don't have to vote on that. And I'll bring a second reading back for whenever you have a meeting.
Have the first reading of ordinance number 970.00A, amending ordinance number 970.00. It's the zoning ordinance on the mobile homes, the age of the mobile homes. Before it said 1978 or newer, and I think they had talked about 10 years. And anyway, is there any discussion?
I'd just like to mention that I don't think 10 years is going back far enough. I know it needs to be updated, but with the cost of a new mobile home being between $50,000 and $70,000,
That's a single wide.
that's a single wide, where they used to be 20, you know. I don't feel like 10 is long enough. Me personally, I'd like to see 20 to 25 years old, with an exception of an inspection, you know.
The state comes in and inspects these, and I've seen them in the past. I don't know if we have, who we have inspecting. You know, sometimes you don't know who you're going to see when the state does an inspection. But in the past, I have seen them put a sticker on something that, I don't know how they moved it in here without it falling apart. And we've had that in the past. And right now, we're trying to get rid of some of those that was passed when they were brought in here by the state when they were in bad shape already. What I would like to know is, Laddie's gonna be over the inspections and the zoning. Is it possible that we could word that pending and a approval from our city?
Well, no,
I think anything that comes into this town should have a prior B seal on it. That means it's already been inspected, it's up to code, all the plumbing, electrical's good, you know, the appearances on the outside, Kathy can contest to this. They put all new siding, new insulation, and our house looks like a brand new mobile home sitting over there.
Right.
But they should at least be updated and have a B seal on them before they come into this town.
but that B seal was issued through the state.
To the
Is that
state
correct?
fire marshal's office.
And then,
Dylan Tolliver is the inspector in this area.
Well, I know in the past, we've had those stickers on there,
Well,
and we are now,
those cases right there, Nancy, are done by, not the state fire marshal's office, but people that are going out there and selling their stickers for somebody and passing them
Oh,
for people
okay.
and charging them $200, and they never have to see that mobile home again. The next person that sees that mobile home is a certified installer for the state of Kentucky, which I am. I'm licensed through the state. And, you know, that's how they get around that.
plus you've had utility, I remember in Faces, they did have those stickers. Utility goes to hook up and they can't. And then you have something sitting there.
Now,
Mostly was rentals.
the power companies are not supposed to energize a mobile home or a double wide unless it has a C1 certified installer sticker on it. B seal doesn't matter. It has to be set by a certified installer, period, in the state of Kentucky. There's no ground sets anymore. Everything has to be dug footers. It's got to be below frost heat, 24 inches. You can fill it up with gravel, but you still have to have a minimum of 4 inches of concrete to set that home in, period, in the state of Kentucky.
In your opinion, that needs to be in our ordinance.
Yes, ma'am.
Can
It
you?
does. In my opinion. That's just my
Yeah.
opinion.
Well, I think it sounds like a good idea. Does anybody else think that we need to add that in this ordinance?
I think that's a good idea. The B seal, I mean, essentially, you're saying add the B seal.
no, the B seal's already there.
He has
He's still already there.
inspection and he's certified.
certified sticker.
All homes in the state of Kentucky are supposed to be set by a certified installer. And I am licensed through the Department of Building, Housing, and Construction. It used to be through the state fire marshal's office, but now they are controlled by the government, not the state. There's still state fire marshal cars running around, but now it's through the Department of Building, Housing, and Construction. If I go out here and I put a sticker on a piece of crap, and they just pick them at random, and I send that paperwork into Frankfurt, they would have to come out and inspect that unit, they can fine me up to $10,000 and give me 5 years in jail. I got 30 days to correct whatever's wrong. If I don't, I'm going to jail, and I'm going to pay a $10,000 fine.
Well, can you provide that information to Mr. McGinnis?
Yes, I can. I'm a walking dictionary of mobile homes. Not a
And we
problem.
can put that in our ordinance,
Yep.
and then, I have a 30-year-old double wide. And of course, I've kept it up, the roof and what have you inside now. But say I was moving it in the city. According to this year here, it would not qualify to be put in the city limits.
Correct.
But are you grandfathered in that case? You have a really nice place.
Right, but what I'm saying, yeah, I'm fine. But I don't plan on moving it. But say I had that very mobile home and was moving it into this city, it would not qualify to be run in here.
So much of that is just, it's not, I mean, it's got to pass the state, it's got to pass the city, and then we have the FEMA rules that we got to go by. And that's where people are getting shook, is over this. And a lot of that we have no control.
Right, with the FEMA, even when I put that double line in 30 years ago, we had to have a elevation map.
Elevation certificate.
Yeah. And so I had to have a map, certificate and everything with it. And of course, that end, the Front Street's way back, regular flood plain. But I still had to fill in and, at first they wanted 6 foot, 6 block until I done the elevation. And that stopped me from having to have it way up in there. But,
Well, so what we're saying here is to have Laddie to write up, to give with Stephen and add the.
to use his, and how do you feel about that, Larry? I mean, to say, well, it's gotta be at least 10 years or no older, or,
I've seen some awful nice mobile homes that are actually in mint condition that are older than that.
yeah, if they're taken care of, they're.
Well,
And even if you were to sell your double wide, Angie, or you were to move it to the lot right next door to where you live, you would have to have all those inspections done again.
Right.
Even though you still own it, that house.
Exactly.
It all has to be, it'll have to be set by certified
And
installer.
if we leave this 20-year, I'm out anyway,
Yeah.
so.
That works.
I don't even think you should put a year on it myself.
If
I
you're
mean,
gonna
if
do
it passes
those-
inspection,
If it passes inspection, I think it should be okay.
If it passes with him, then we really don't need the year. So, what's your opinion? You think so too?
well, as long
I'm
as,
not putting a year up, I mean, you're essentially saying as far back as you wanna go, and I do think that if you don't put a year up, you know, there's gotta be a cutoff at some point. I think,
beginning
yeah,
age.
if y'all wanna go further than 10, that's fine, but I mean, I think at some point, if not, then we'll just sit at the 1978 year
Yeah.
mark, I guess.
If we don't put a year on it, we're up against what he said, you know, outside of it won't matter, as long as it passes inside,
Yeah.
that's just my opinion, that's y'all's call. I think you gotta put a year on it, that's
A
just
lot of
me.
the mobile homes is how they've been taken care of, how many
Well,
times they've been moved.
And who's the manufacturer? That
That's
means,
another thing.
you know,
Well,
Well, I mean,
20 years.
there's nothing, I guess, up, can we make a motion to table this so we can look into it more and go from there?
Sure.
What y'all wanna do?
Yeah, I don't think you can have your first reading tonight.
Yeah.
I'm gonna need to get with Laddie, I'm gonna have to, you all are gonna have to decide in a meeting what the year is gonna be that we go back to. And right now, by default, it's 78, and if you all want it to be
You
20
feel like
or
you can't
30.
put a year on it tonight, or do you think that needs to be?
I think you and I need to talk
Okay.
about what needs to be in here, because what happens is, remember, we take this and we give it to your zoning commission, and we want to send over to them exactly what we want. And we don't want to have to change it after that. So, me and I talk, when I get something new drawn, I'll send it to Brandon.
Send it out to them.
Yeah, that's the best way to do it.
Can we say something like, say, 15 years with exception that if Laddie thinks they are, in good enough condition, would that not
his
be
inspection.
too confusing?
I think
That opens up the door.
I think what you've got is it's a classic problem that I see is that you all can't really regulate, because the city isn't a homeowner association, what a house looks like. I mean, if I wanted to paint my house bright pink, I could, except I did that divorce. Yeah, but, yeah, right. And so that's the thing, is that, you know, you've seen homes, I'm sure, that didn't look right on the outside, but would still pass inspection and be livable. And there's lots of them around the area, so you can't, as much as we all like to live in some place that's pleasing and how it looks, I think practically speaking, the only thing you can do is just say the age and kind of trust that the age is gonna be some decent indicator of what it's gonna look like, but it might not be. You might end up, and I'm sure you've seen newer mobile homes that look awful, and still pass inspection, but you would rather live in one that was older that had been well taken care of.
Yes.
So it's the same with houses, if you think of that. I mean, there's practically no difference with one. So I think really you just gotta go with your years, what you gotta do. But you don't have to go in tonight.
So we're all just at the table and let Stephen and Larry sort of hash this out. Real fair. Everybody all right with that? Do we need a motion to table
You
whatever?
don't, because we
Make
haven't
the
had
motion
first
to
reading.
table.
No.
We have the reappointment of Ian Cooper to the Vanceburg Housing Authority Board. Again, this is a board for the Housing Authority in the South End. Not to get too political, but we've got to have 2 Democrats, 2 Republicans, and he feels the bill there.
I'll make the motion to appoint Ian.
I will second that very happily.
Councilman Willis,
Yes.
Councilwoman McCann,
Yes.
Councilwoman Patton,
Yes.
Councilwoman McClure,
Yes.
Councilwoman Cantu,
Yes.
Councilwoman Pugh.
Yes. Do we need to get a second motion on tabling this? Angie made a motion.
He said we didn't need.
Oh, we didn't need it, okay, I didn't hear that.
And
Thank
take
you.
the first reading.
Okay,
Yeah, you didn't have
Gotcha.
to. No.
okay, thank you.
We, the People's Self-Help Housing Proposal, this here is on the Green Street Apartments. This lease was done 25 years ago, which probably the most conservative thing I've ever seen, but especially for that length. But they've had a change of leadership out there, and one of the things that was the problem was when I came in, we were paying the insurance on about $1.5 million worth of structures. We were doing the mowing, the weeding, the snow removal. And anyway, it was costing us probably in the neighborhood $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 a year, and we got reimbursed $80 a month. So it was $1,000 a year. Well, that lease is up, and the city borrowed $400,000 in their name. They one that had to go get the money from the federal government, which it could have been forgiven. We've let them pay for 25 years, and we still get a bill that says we owe $200-some thousand, is that right? But the lady that's over this, Ann Price, I've spoken with her 3 or 4 times, and she told me, she said, I can get that released. She actually came from where, I think from the USDA or somewhere. But anyway, nonetheless, I got a letter, and it said, I've spoken with KHC regarding the loan on the property, and it will be forgiven June 30th, 2024. They will prepare the mortgage release and send it to you. So, we don't have anything against, that's gonna get released. And when I came into office, my game plan was, I thought they need to sell that, they don't need a head cut. I will say this, I've changed my attitude towards that. When I took office and I seen the 80-year-old women sweeping snow and ice off the sidewalk, and that's when I went to People's Self-Help Housing, which was under different direction, and I said, that's supposed to be your all's responsibility. And they said, well, you all got the manpower, you do it, and just laughed and went on. This lady here has got a whole different attitude. And I will say, 2 months ago, she took over, when I met with her the first time, they took over the mowing and weeding, and said they'd take care of it. And they have given us a proposal for the city if we would still, use them. And in this proposal that you all have, and on this thing, it's a budget, so it's a guesstimate, but it's pretty much year to year what it's brought in. But they have made the payment on it each month, which they no longer have that. And to make a long story short, it comes down to, they said they net out about $22,000 a year. And they've offered it, a proposal for a 40-60 split, or a 50-50 split. Think about that for like 2 seconds. But anyway, so basically what they're saying, if we would do a 50-50 split, we would basically get roughly right at $11,000 a year. We don't disrupt anybody that's in there, nobody's going anywhere, and I realize it still belongs to us, it's our asset, and yeah, we could probably sell it and get really good money out of it, but you don't know when the person that buys it, they can clean the house, they can make all of it, and everybody that is in there is, it's sort of subsidized. And I will say this, been here 5.5 years, and I think in 5.5 years we've had 2 police calls, and one of them was a welfare check, which one of the older residents had died, and the other one was a dog pooping somebody's flowers or something. But it's no problem up there, it's just, there's, and so, I know it's up to you all, but I would like to see it stay with people's self-help housing. And I think if we're going to roughly get $11,000, we've had, that's basically somewhere between $16,000 $18,000 turnaround from what we've done last year. Instead of paying out $6,000 or $8,000, we got $11,000 coming in.
What did they, we usually only got like 1,400 or something.
$1,000.
1,000 last year.
Get $80-some a month. We get $1,000, and we were paying $3,000 for insurance, snow removal. We were sending 3 guys at least up there to mow, the weed eat,
And they're gonna do all that now?
And they take care of all the maintenance and
the insurance also?
the insurance. We should, I think, we need to keep the insurance, and they reimburse us the insurance. And that's what they're willing to do. And this insurance is through Kentucky League of Cities, and I doubt that they're going to get any better rate than what they are, and they're okay with that. But I would rather us pay the insurance that way. We know what we got. It still stays the same. And that's sort of the gist of everything. The only other thing, and I will say this, there was like $7,000 in reserve. And that's for if any major thing would happen. And they did ask if they could leave that in reserve in case something did. But to me, if we can get close to $1,000 a month coming in versus several hundred going out, and they 100% take care of it, maintenance, and upkeep.
How long would the agreement be good for?
Well, she told me, she said, we'll do it for a year, and which I'm not about a year, but I sure take it not for 25 years. She said ideally we'd like to do a 3 to 5 year. And
That sounds good.
that's reasonable in my opinion. So, there you go.
You want to?
What y'all, and they're basically asking for a 3 to 5 year contract, at least with the, with them paying us, well, it's whether y'all just want 40% or 50%. But anyway, so, and the 50% puts us at $11,000 roughly a year.
The only bad thing about going to a 5-year is you're locked in for 5 years. So 3 years, we can at least reevaluate.
If we take out 25 years.
Yeah. I would think the 3-year would be best in that situation.
That's your all's call.
Well, I'd like to make a motion for you to negotiate with people self-help housing an agreement that you have discussed tonight for the 3-year.
Okay.
Does that sound good to you?
At a 50.
Now, you want 40% or sit there at 50?
50.
I think 50 is good too, since we have been paying so much on it, and sending people to take care of it. 50 would be better.
Well, like I said, the people that are there, there's, you know, we don't have drug dealing going on, we don't have, you know, and these are sort of, most of them are elderly people that, anyway, so it's better than what a lot of them ever lived in, probably. And,
Well, they do have their little community there.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
and they enjoy that community garden, which if, you know, we're a little late, but we're gonna try to get that up and going too. So do we, what do we need on
Angie
that?
made a motion, right?
For
I'll
the
second that.
negotiation.
Negotiate, I'll second that.
So I thought
The lease agreement.
for you to negotiate with people from housing an agreement with a 50-50 split.
Yes.
And a
On the
3-year,
3-year lease.
and a 3-year lease.
And then a second. Is that?
What's that?
Councilman Willis?
Yes.
Councilwoman McCann?
Yes.
Councilwoman Patton?
Yes.
Councilwoman McClure?
Yes.
Councilwoman Cantu?
Yes.
Councilwoman Pugh?
Yes.
We'll go into executive session, but before we do, I'd like to, we've got a city clerk retired, 33 years. Gina, not you.
No, I looked at Joe, at least 30, right?
32 or 33.
32. Anyway, she had a liver transplant, and I just want to say, she was in an 8-9 hour surgery. In about 22 hours, she was FaceTiming me and asking how everything was. So, anyway, I'd just like to throw that in there.
Yeah, she's been amazing.
Yeah,
What a cracker.
yeah, she was,
Unreal.
I said, do you eat anything? She said, leave watermelon if you come this way a little more.
Well, and she'd already had Mark, he said, Chelsea was got a schedule to come in, and she said, well, you get that watermelon to me and tell Chelsea I said so.
You don't get nothing over on Chelsea.
But anyway, thanks for people thinking about her. We've had a lot of phone calls, so she's doing well, and hopefully she'll be home in a week or two, probably.
Well, we think she started here in 1987 after Kathy, what do you think, Joe? 87?
She
I left in 86.
I'll be 38.
Was you born yet, Coach?
38 years.
Yeah.
36.
Do we have a motion to go into executive session?
We'll be talking about pending litigation.
Yes.
I'll be like I always did, I'm downstairs.
There's second.
I always turned her downstairs.
Thank you.
Joking when I wasn't. Hey, I'm always
You got that little bill.
Yeah. Oh, you're not?
Oh, cash, that's the burden. That's what they should be like. I mean, you ain't doing it to have to do 1099. You do it to make extra money. Cash.
You ain't going nowhere. I said, the three of us will go.
You don't have any more have any service.
Absolutely not. Oh, yeah.
It was Thursday.
I could.
You already have a schedule, maybe? You ain't gonna.
Tom's all about it. You're going over Thursday. See you.
Now, ring that bell and come back in. Living the dream.
Living the dream, baby.
That's true.
no action was taken in executive session. Anybody got anything on updates? I've got a, go
It's,
ahead.
maybe it's not an update, maybe.
No,
it's-
go ahead.
Okay, I was just going to say, I just wanted to kind of stand up for Billy Pittman because there were bad things said about him at our last meeting. And I sent him a text and said, I don't believe you did this, but did you pay everybody? And his comment was, he said, I use wellness living software, certified mail for sending them out, and a few met me at the house. Every single person got paid. Also, contrary to the rumor mill, there was only about 21 people that signed up. For those that somehow think I had a bunch of money from pre-sale. And I talked to Gail Massey today, and Gail Massey said, yes, I got every dime of my money back with a very lovely certified letter that he sent me. Roger John will tell you he got his money back with interest even. So I just wanted to, didn't want him to be, put in a really bad light, and that's not the case. And the other thing I just wanted to mention, we all got a thing last week saying that, or last month, excuse me, saying that the chamber was in bad condition. I did call them the very next day, which was May the 7th. We are in good condition. Everything was fine. The only problem was that our former employee, who now works for the city, she had resigned in May and went to the city to work. And then in August, she resigned as our registered agent. And we didn't get any kind of correspondence about the fact that we had to appoint somebody with a certain amount of time. And I don't know where the correspondence went, but it didn't go to us. And so all we did is we had to renew our license and pay another $125 because of that. And we are, the very next day, on the Secretary of State, if you look at it, we are in good standing. I just wanted everybody to know that.
Jenny, I'd just like to mention, very respectfully, I'm not trying to, start anything, but it's the chamber's responsibility to keep up with the LLCs,
Oh, I'm
with
sure
the
of that.
Secretary of State, so
I'm sure.
if you want to update, and I appreciate your update, let's don't start pointing fingers again.
No, all I'm doing is saying that
No, you
that's,
said that it was the
that's what
fault.
they told me.
Well, but you
That's
don't
what the
have to.
person at the Secretary of State told me. I didn't mention any names, I just said.
Well, but you're pointing the blame, so let's just quit.
Let
Let's
the
just
blame
quit.
go where it may go.
Let's just quit.
Just want you to know that we're in good
Well,
standing.
appreciate that. Appreciate it.
You're very welcome.
Any other updates? I would like to say, I'd like to have a comprehensive plan done for the boat docks behind Scott Park. And I've spoke with a person that has done this for several cities, and that's something I would like to look into in order to use that. The ramp is already there. A lot of money was spent there on that, and I would like to look at that as far as using it for kayak and maneuver, that kind of stuff. But I'd like to be able to pursue a comprehensive plan on that.
I'd be more than happy to share information that we got from both the National Park Service and from the Army Corps of Engineers. They said the worst place you can put a boat dock is anywhere near an outer bend of the river, and the best place would be on Salt Lake Creek. I'm not trying
So
to.
that'd be on private property you're talking about?
Doesn't have to be. You can do it by the boat dock there. I'm just saying that's what I was told by two different authorities.
Any other updates? We'll have the floor open now to Cassie Johnson. She's with the Vanceburg Homeless Coalition.
You'll have to excuse me, I'm not a very good speaker, and leadership has been thrown at me.
But you've done a good job with it.
Thank you. City, county leaders, and Lewis County residents. It has come to our attention that in the past, some city and county leaders oppose external and internal funding for the homeless in Lewis County areas, such as private donations and etc. Maybe this is because our leadership doesn't understand the definition of homelessness or the struggle some of our community residents are having. However, we are very grateful for the current leadership support and help we are receiving. The Vanceburg Homeless Coalition has served 40 plus clients since we started working in our community. There are 29 plus current active cases. Most of our clients are classified as sheltered homeless without electric or water, not fit for human habitation. We do have clients who are living in tents in the woods or campers on family or friends' property. Some of our clients are couch surfers, going from family members to family members, friends' house to friend's house. We are currently aware of 2 camper fires in the last month, leaving people without shelter or clothing. We are also aware most of our clients have mental health issues such as drug addiction, past or present trauma experience leading to poor coping methods. All our clients are offered shelter information. Most of them decline offers due to not wanting to leave Lewis County in personal circumstances. Sometimes sheltering is not a good solution for our clients. Sometimes beds are not available in Maysville or Portsmouth shelters. It saddens us to send someone out on the street knowing they have no places to sleep. However, we do our best to provide services such as hot meals, hygiene products, food resources, including delivering food to families without means to get it, paying for birth certificates for IDs so they can progress to get a job, helping people with housing applications, receiving mail at our post office, using our address for government documents so that they can get food stamps or whatever they need to help them, clothing, getting wood in the winter. However, the community needs are exceeding our resources. We are in the process of filing for our nonprofit which will allow us to apply for federal grants and private donations. We ask that the current leadership and residents of Lewis County to continue to support us in our mission in helping those in the population of the homelessness. As the population in homeless continues to increase in our area, we ask for your support. Thank you.
Thank you. Comment, anybody have anything to say before? Just been said.
Do we know what they call Gus Wolf? You still do that?
That's what?
Gus Wolf, did you all stop that?
There wasn't.
Any money left? I think we used those. There was a man that once donated money to help, and over the years, they, he made a donation,
Right.
and that was separated. But that's exhausted
Yeah,
now.
that started in I think that started in the early 80s.
Yeah, I know we've been here for a while.
Down local or somewhere.
Yeah.
Cassie, is People Self-Help working with you?
Excuse me?
Is People Self-Help Housing working with you at all?
Only if we have, like, someone who wants to get an application and go into theirs, but as you all know, people's housing apartments, their list is huge. Being homeless is not due to the top of the list.
Yeah.
But,
Right.
it still takes time. Apartments are not available for some people. And there are conditions on some of the other low-income apartments, such as being disabled Edward Dulles is pretty much full and very, very hard to get into.
Really?
Yeah.
And I know you go to the interagency council meetings, so you know the Christian Community Center will pay for your utility deposit and your rent deposit if you're going to one of, like Colonial Heights or, is it Colonial Heights, Colonial Village? And, there's a couple of places they'll pay for that, you know, if somebody needs help.
Yes, we actually had two clients that used our services recently.
Good.
Are you working any with the Salvation Army?
Not at this time. However, they have warned us that they do food vouchers for someone who is without food every 3 months. Their emergency vouchers will allow them to get staples from Save-A-Lot.
Yes.
Any other discussion on it, council? Thank you, Cassie.
You're welcome.
Well, I should say Ms. Johnson, I'm sorry.
Bring up that July 4th if you don't care.
Oh, do what now?
Bring up that July 4th.
Oh, yeah,
Since we won't meet, they won't meet again till then.
that's right. It won't be in till after everybody has a flyer on July 4th here, which it starts on the 5th, and the fireworks will be Saturday the 6th. There's several things going on. We've got a lot of vendors. How many vendors do we have as of right now?
I want to say,
50?
yeah.
It's around 50, several food vendors. We've got some different food vendors. I said this before, but during the Rivertown Festival in May, we had some vendors from out of town that had never even been to Vanceburg, and they're coming back for the July 4th and said how well they liked it here. Some of them have already signed up for the Oktoberfest in October. But anyway, this year will be, like I said, it'll start on Friday the 5th, and the fireworks will be the 6th. And
Craig will be on Friday.
at 6 o'clock.
At 7.
That's,
Parade starts at 7.
parade starts at 7. And if anybody wants to buy any Ducky Derby tickets, we have those. Come see us, that's right.
And it will be down Main Street this year, just like the river.
Yeah, it'll be on Main Street, Front Street. Last year, the car show got rained out, we had to hold it a little bit later, but we had a great turnout. We had 104 cars, which I don't know if the city's ever had that many cars at a car show before. And the car show, providing it doesn't rain, car show will be in the Merchants parking lot behind the depot. And it will, again, it's been sponsored by William Waddell with Love Family Funeral Homes. So, and there's cash money to be given away. Our crowd is to get bigger and bigger. We're working on more and more money donation-wise. You know, the fireworks get more expensive each year, and we have quite the extensive fireworks show. There's a guy out here in the crowd that says he's been here. He's lived in Connecticut, Florida, Minnesota, and he said, he told me the first year, he said, I was amazed at the fireworks this little town had.
That's me.
Okay. I don't think he's that. You've been around that long, you've been around that long. But anyway, it's really good show.
Yep.
And I appreciate all the help and all the donations, all the businesses, and all of the residents we disrupt for a couple of days. Is there anything else? You have a motion to adjourn?
I'll second.
I'm always looking for volunteers to help clean the town up. It takes me 4 days to get this town ready for an event. Yeah, so, anybody wants to volunteer, come
talking about, you got me to jump off.
How many do you have so far?
There's 4 of them.
That volunteers, that actually.
No volunteers.
Yeah, you got one. I
Well,
just
yeah, she
volunteered.
volunteered. You know, it takes a long time to go from the east end to that part, from the railroad tracks to the river, every blade of grass, every gravel, every sidewalk, every nook and cranny. It takes a while.
You ain't close, okay?
Get all the way. Sam.
Let alone warn all these fireworks up.